Hi everyone, it's Emilia here. Welcome to the flower making video. One of the videos I like to make the most, and today I want to show you something really lovely. So today I want to show you how to make these gorgeous foam roses. I call them marshmallow roses as they really look like marshmallows. They're super light, not very tall, not very high, which I like for the flowers, especially when you use them for card making. So they are quite flat, I would say. And of course you can make them in different sizes. You can make smaller or the larger ones, depend on how many petals you will use. They can be more open or closed, and today I will show you and give you a few tips how to make these, and then have them on your cards, on your scrapbooking projects, in your albums. They are absolutely gorgeous and not difficult to use. Roses are one of the most difficult flowers in my opinion to make, but this is simple technique, will work for any sizes of the roses you want to create. To make the flowers I will use cutting dies from Stamperia. This is my latest release with Stamperia. These are just called flowers, and you've got 3 different sizes of the flowers here and few different sizes of the leaves, and also some beads, little dots that can be placed in the middle of your flower. So I'm using that set, and like I said, 3 different sizes. We will use all 3 today. For the flower I'm using foam, which is a flower making foam called also foamiran or flower shaping foam. I don't know, it has a lot of names. It's just thinner than 1 millimeter, and you can use it for making flowers. I used it 4 years and it works great. I will give you the link to the foam in the description box below the video. I will also need shaping tools. These are also from Stamperia. There are 3 in the set. Well, today I just use those 2 larger. I don't need the small one. We actually be using the biggest and one smaller than the biggest. Toothpick, I will only use 1. This will be helping me when I be creating the flower. For the center of the rose, but I will be using these styrofoam balls. These are actually from the Christmas section in my local shop, but I will try to provide a link to them, because they come in a really large bag and they will last you forever basically. I don't think I will use more than 4. Scissors, iron, which is not necessary, but I prefer to use it, especially if your foam is thicker. Then use the iron. Hot glue, I already pre-cut the petals. So now for the flowers you can add a bit of color if you want. I will make my just white, so I've got some of them have blue here and there. I just took them like that, add a bit of color, and that was it. But I will create the white ones today because I need more white roses. Before we will shape them, what I wanted to do, and this is for the roses, I can add additional cuts between the petals. So you can see there is a hole in the middle. So I've got 2 layers together, and I want to cut between the petals like ½ centimeter towards the center. So then I can manipulate with the petals a bit more. And this is because with the roses I like the petals to overlap. I will show you what I mean when I will be making them, but yes, I just need to have a space between the petals to do it. I will just grab a few together. And just go towards the center. And also for the smallest layers. So for one large rose I would use the smallest petal, only one the medium size, and 2 of the large petals. Let me just show you which one is it. This one here. So for the rose like that, 1 the smallest, 1 the medium, and then 2 large petals. So this for me will be like a full rose. I mean, I've got one which is a bit fuller, so I got 3 of the large petals here, but again 1 smallest, 1 medium, 3 large. So this is the biggest size I created. Then a smaller size would be this one, which has 1 smallest, 1 medium, and 1 large. Let me just show you like that. 1 smallest, 1 medium, and 1 large. I don't have anything smaller than that, but you could also create 1 smallest and 1 medium and have just the small rosebud. Or actually I decided to add a bit of color. I will use the pink ink just to show you that maybe some people will be asking, you know, but if I want to add a color, how would I do it? So for me, I like to have a color only on some parts of the flower. I don't usually change the whole color of the flower, so I would put all the petals together and just go with the color on one side of the petals with the smallest one, just like that. If you want to have more, you can go in the on the top of the layer as well, but I will just do it very, very gently. I will make a rose with 3 layers, 3 large layers. So again, keeping them all together, maybe I will just go on 2 petals. I will leave 1 white. So it has a color, but you can barely see it. You will see it on the flower when we will put it together. Now I'm bringing the iron. This is travel iron, which I used for years for making flowers. On the second dot, which is like a middle heat, it's actually only warm. And what I wanted to do, I will put each layer for a few seconds for the iron, so it will make the foam warm, and this way it's easy to stretch and easy to crease it basically. So I put all petals together and just in my fingers roll between the fingers to add creases on the ends of each petal, and I only focus on the top of the petal. Then I will stretch each petal to the sides just with my fingers. It's now like that, and then I will grab a top of the petal and will try to roll it back between my fingers like that. Sometimes it's just difficult to grab that top, but if you will do it few times, you will find your way of just doing it every time. So it looks like that, and on the bottom is like that. And the last thing I like to do is to use the shaping ball and just stretch in the middle of the petal. I now try not to touch the top of it because I want it to be rolled back, but just give this petal more shape by using the tool. And this is it. So this is the larger one, and I will use 2 or 3 the large petals. Again, I will just go on the iron for a few seconds. My iron is barely warm, so I think it doesn't work very well anymore. And then I'm just rolling between my fingers. But making this foam warmer, it's just making it easier to shape. Also, you can just use your fingers and yeah, and avoid using the iron. Again, I'm just doing exactly the same, rolling, stretching to the sides, rolling back. I will do it again here, and then just in the middle of each petal with this tool. So that's the second one. I will make a third one. I'm not sure if I will use it, but let's just make it so it's ready to use. Again, bring all petals together, and this is the bottom, this is the top of the petals. We are rolling between the fingers just the top of the petals. Don't have to worry about the center. Stretch and then roll back. I hope you can see well what I'm doing. Just between my finger, rolling it back. My fingers. Okay, and then just press into that ball tool. And this is the third. Do exactly the same with the middle one. For the smallest layer, we only place that on the iron for a few seconds, and then let me just grab it. Then I would roll the top. Okay, and now I will use the same size of the ball just to stretch each petal, and we're not rolling it back, the top of the petals, we're not rolling them back here, they just stay like that. So this is the smallest layer. Now I try to come really close with the camera, so I hope everything will be clear. I will take this toothpick, add a tiny dot of a glue on the bottom of it, on the end, and then I will just go through with it through the ball. Okay, and this will be my center of the flower, my base for the rosebud. I will start with the smallest layer. Each layer has a little hole in the middle, so it's showing you where to go through with the toothpick. You're just going to the bottom, and with the first petal, I will just use this one here. I will try to cover half of the ball. So I'm adding the glue, I'm barely pressing, so actually the glue is like a very, very thin layer, and I will go to the top with it, and I will create like a, try to create a triangle with that. I don't know how to explain it better. I basically covering half of the ball with this petal. Then I will go to the petal which is next to it, here on the right. Again, I'm adding a glue now only in the middle of the petal, and again I will just quite tight go with it around the, oh, I stick my finger around the first layer, so it's like that. And with the third one, again quite tightly go around the whole piece. Now you may hold for a second, because especially with that first layer we want to cover our ball completely, okay, so you don't see it. If you've got any like points like this one here on the bottom, which are, I don't know, maybe annoying, or you think they may be a problem later, you can just cut that off. But I usually don't do it. This is I'm just telling you if you think that this may be a problem later. So we've got the center of my flower. Now medium layer, Like I said, this layer I will use only one. So I start with the one of the petal, and I will apply the glue only on half of it. So from the middle of the petal to the right, and then I will go close to my rosebud with that half of the petal. And I want to have the this side loose, because later I will push the other petal there. But at the moment we're just going to work on the petal which is on the right hand side. I'm adding the glue now near the bottom of the petal. So I'm overlapping the first petal, and again I'm going closely to the bud. And then I will add glue here, again near the bottom of the petal. I will cover half of the previous petal and will go in that gap. That's why we needed to keep it loose. Okay, so first I will push there, and then I'm going to, excuse me, add more glue and overlap that previous petal. And now the loose one, which was our first, we're adding tiny dot of a glue on the bottom and just covering, overlapping that last petal. I hope it makes sense. So this is the second layer, and like I said, sorry, I had to have a drink. I don't know what is wrong with my voice today. So this is the second layer, and if we need rosebuds, we could actually leave it like that. Now I've got 3 petals for the largest layer. I may use 2 of them. I will see how my flower look. So first I will go with the first layer. So now I will be adding just a dot of a glue on each petal on the very bottom of it. So if you're adding a color to your flower, I would like to keep the colored petals on one side and then the white on the other side. For me it looks really nice, but this is the personal preference, so of course you can color the end of each petal and just have the, you know, the middle white and just the ending of the petals colored. Anyway, just 1 dot of a glue on each petal, and then I'm bringing them closer to my flower. Okay, and then so this would be like a medium size rose. We can also finish here, glue strings, and we can add more layers if we want. So let's add another one and see how it looks. So this probably would be my last one, but you never know, we can still add one more. So now what I would focus on is just not overlapping the petals. So the petals from my bottom layers now will go between the petals from the layer which is on the top, I mean above. I will add just tiny dots of a glue on the bottom. Now you can add to all petals all together. Position your petals. Let's just go, I've got a bit of color here, and we're going between the petals from the last layer, yeah? And again, you can stop now and have your rose, but I think I'm going to add that last petal. So for this flower we used 3 of the largest ones. Let me just position that again. Here you would go between the petals from the previous layer. So here, here and here. I will just add small amount of a glue on in the center of the layer, and when I'm bringing it up I will try to position it. Let's just check where is the color. Color is here. It's stuck to my toothpick. Anyway, Now we've got beautiful rose. Okay, so now it's really easy. Just what I do, I just remove the toothpick. I do it like that. And the flower is ready. So I hope I explained it well, how to create these foam roses. For the leaves, I just like to die cut the leaves out of paper. So I've got this one from the set. I inked the edges of it, and look how pretty it looks all together. Let me know, what do you think about the roses? Will you be making them? Do you like the video? I just love the result. It looks really, really nice. So now I've got one pink. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you will find this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel for the more flower making and scrapbooking videos. Take care everyone. Bye bye.